for you, brother.
What took you guys so long?
Well, Rhino had to fix his hair for some reason.
I did not have to fix my hair, brother.
So what were you doing in the bathroom, huh?
I'm not explaining.
Welcome to World History. I am Professor Hawthorne, and I will be lecturing on the wonderful history of our country and its origin story. Now, as for the rules, I will of course answer your questions when I'm finished talking. However, there will be no messing around in my classroom. If you want respect from me, you will have to show me respect as well.
Who's looking at us?
Now take out your notebooks. We are going to begin with the foundation of the 6 kingdoms.
Oh, dang it, notebooks. Well, hey, Rhino, if I miss anything, can I copy your notes later?
No, how about you do your own work?
I mean, I was going to, but geez, okay.
Rose, lotus, sunflower, iris, lily, and orchid were once the single kingdom of Gardenia, ruled by a king who fell in love with the goddess Lady Serenity. Due to their forbidden romance, she gifted him a bouquet of 6 different flowers. The king knew he and the goddess could never be since she was immortal, so he eventually married. Lady Serenity, still in love, blessed his 6 children with magical abilities, based on one of the bouquet flowers that best represented their personality. However, the powers would only be accessible if the physical plant was used in conjunction. Upon the king's death, the kingdom was split into 6 based on where the different flowers were found, and the new rulers were each given one of the bouquet flowers.
Professor? I just have a question. Why exactly would Lady Serenity fall in love with a human and give them powers? It just doesn't really make sense for a divine being.
It's all in the book.
That's not really the answer to my question, but okay.
Professor, why doesn't everyone have powers? Like, what would happen if everyone had powers?
Well, powers come through the original king's bloodline, so that would be impossible. You are very special to have been blessed by Lady Serenity herself.
Guess that's fair.
Banana.
Could you stop it?
Here, come on, Rhino. Here, look at these notes. I made these funny faces of Professor Hawthorne. Oh, sorry. Here you go.
What are you laughing at?
God. Kano, can you please stop bothering your brother? Some people are actually trying to learn.
Yes, I would actually like to learn some lessons.
Okay, that's fine. Oh, Rhino, this is great. Okay, all right, so Professor's gone, so means we have no obligation to learn anything right now. So, Rhino, why don't you and I go out? We can go watch the second-year girls practicing in the courtyard. That'd be great, wouldn't it?
Or how about, brother, you actually learn something rather than mess about?
Okay, Mr. G's.
Anyway, April, what did you think of the lecture?
I thought it was interesting, but there are some anomalies in it, and there's just some of it that just doesn't really make any logical sense. And Kano, what are you doing?
Come on. I'm gonna go and sneak and watch the girls practicing, because I think it's gonna be more fun and more useful than being in this class. It's just so...
Kano, that's so
sit
fast.
down.
Can you actually
We
act
still
like
have class.
Your Highnesses, you have a requested audience with the headmaster.
With the headmaster?
Huh?
Okay,
I guess class is
we
gonna
should
be
go.
ending anyway, huh?
Thank you, Professor.
Yes, thank you, Professor Hawthorne.
Yes, thank you.
Why are we here?
There's some sort of competition we have to do. Cerulean mentioned it to me earlier.
Right now?
I don't think so.
We were just told to meet here.
Us too.
Hi everyone.
I don't think we've really met yet. I'm Madalena Rose.
Hi?
Do you know why we're all here?
Maddie, people need their personal space.
I was just asking him a question.
We were asked to meet Headmaster Cerulean here.
Cerulean? We just got out of class. We didn't know about any meeting.
I apologize for not informing Professor Magnolia about the meeting. Nonetheless, I am glad you arrived. I have something very important to discuss, so I hope there will be no more scenes like the one at last night's banquet.
Nothing like that will happen again.
You will still be taking your mandatory classes, but you will also be competing against each other to determine who is truly fit for the throne. Once a week for 6 weeks, the royals from each kingdom will create and judge tasks related to their culture. The other students will split up into 2 groups and compete in these tasks. The judge will grant a flower to the students who accomplish the task to their liking. 1 student per week will not receive a flower, but only 3 flowers are needed to be eligible to be a king or queen, either of their own kingdom or through marriage. While the contest is voluntary, the eligible sibling with the highest number of flowers in their bouquet will be crowned the king or queen at their graduation. That means that regardless of your current age or royal status, your sibling could be the future ruler. I have high hopes that everyone who participates will be eligible, but the older siblings in the room may not be first in line after this contest, depending on how well your younger siblings do. Princess April, you are assigned the first task. I will meet with April separately to discuss the Orchid Kingdom tasks.
Wait, what?
Were you not listening closely enough?
Of course I was listening. I'm just trying to understand why we have to do something like this.
It's to determine how we'll rule our kingdoms. If you're going to be a bad ruler, it'll show through these tasks.
I don't think any of us are going to be bad rulers.
And we still have to take classes too?
Obviously, this is the academy.
This means that each week, someone might get a flower.
Let's try to be civil and peaceful about the results. As the headmaster said, we shouldn't cause more trouble.
I don't cause trouble.
He didn't mention your name.
Maddie, I mean, sometimes...
Fine, whatever. I'm not concerned. I'll be the winner of my own kingdom anyway.
Please excuse us.
Is everyone participating?
Why wouldn't we?
Yeah, of course.
Wait, you're gonna do it, Ness?
I'm still royalty.
Sounds very interesting. I'm looking forward to this contest.
So, brother.
Yes?
Is your room done?
Yeah,
You know?
I would say so. Thank you so much for all the help. I mean, look at all we managed to get done in the last few hours. It's looking pretty good, although it's still a bit cramped.
I mean, there's some good paintings here, but then you've got this. Like, why? Why
Well,
this painting?
I mean, if I'm being honest, it's one I remember that you made for me back when we were younger, and I wanted to hold on to it.
I don't remember making this.
You were very young when it happened, so it's been quite some time.
I mean, I don't remember liking art at all, you know?
It's probably from one of those silly classes that mother and father made us engage in.
I see. I see.
Yes.
And why is your fireplace unlit? That's... It's quite chilly in here, you know?
I mean, it's quite lit to me, so maybe it's just your eyes.
It doesn't look lit to me.
Well, either way. Alright, so now we finished with my room. Do you want to move on to your room?
Yes, although I don't understand this space up here, brother. Like, What is it for, really? You know?
Well, I put this together as a small, because we need our flowers to grow fine to keep our powers going. So I just assumed I might as well have a small little gardening area here. I don't know. I'm still not entirely sure what I want to do with it, but it's something.
It is quite dark out, isn't it?
Yes, it's nighttime, Rhino.
I know it's nighttime. Don't you think
okay,
I know
alright.
that already?
Yes, I do. Okay, so but this does get to my point though. So, ever since we got out of class earlier today, you've been acting very weird. What's going on?
I don't think I've been acting weird at all.
Yes, you're commenting on very simple things and pretending like you don't remember the fact that it's nighttime outside. Clearly, something's up.
Well, I mean, you wasn't. Well, I want to say that you weren't paying attention.
Well, yes, but we never pay attention in class, right? I mean, we know the material. It's not like we're stupid, but class isn't just meant for us to sit around and, listen to the teacher all the time.
We're supposed to learn, This is why we go to an academy.
Well, yes, Rhino, you've never behaved this way before, though, with any of our lessons. Why has that changed now?
Because it's history, History is very important. History allows us to learn from our mistakes that people have made in the past, like our kingdom. Our kingdom has made mistakes in the past, and I want to rectify that.
That's understandable. I'm sorry, I hadn't realized that you were so studious. I understand that's an important concern, and I apologize if I wasn't taking class seriously enough.
Plus, how are we supposed to get these flowers when you're not paying attention in class with these competitions?
Well, Rhino, you know me. I always pay attention in class. I have a good mind for my age.
Yes, but what if one of the competitions is what did you learn in, on the lesson like today? You wouldn't know what to say. You would not get a flower. And then what am I supposed to do? Rule by myself?
Well, Rhino, you're not gonna have to worry about that. Okay, well, first things first. I promise that I won't goof off anymore in history class. I was simply trying to have some fun on, the first few times we've been having class. But I'll stop doing that. I'll help us to focus. Because you're right. We've only had so much experience with the other kingdoms. I mean, barely any. We've only been exposed to the Lily Kingdom all our lives, aside from our own, and it's important that we actually get to know people and understand more about their history. But I have to say, you are starting to sound a bit like someone from the Lotus Kingdom.
I do not sound like anyone from the Lotus Kingdom.
Brother, it's fine to admit things like that about yourself. But
anyway, I think my room was smashing.
We're gonna get to decorating it, I promise. I mean, if you unless you like this way that it is, you can just sit on the floor.
I mean, who needs to decorate a room anyway? Books are important. We've got to read ourselves.
Yes, I mean that's why we have a bookshelf in both our common room as well as in my bedroom, and you have a bookshelf, I know, in the things you brought with you from home. We'll probably have to get more though, because I didn't realize you needed more.
Exactly, There's nothing wrong with reading a good book, You've got to learn. Learn about history.
Yeah. Indeed. Well, how about we start decorating your room at least a little bit.
Let's see what I bring my belongings. I bring a bed. I bring some clothes. I bring my chest, and I bring a bookshelf with books.
Right. Well, that's pretty handy. Suppose we can start setting some of those things up now if we want. Do you have any mind for what you want for your carpet?
Maybe the word history.
Okay, you seem to really hammer this in quite a bit, Rhino. Obviously, something's still a bit peeving you, but I won't dig too much into it. But, since we're talking about things, I have to admit I'm a bit concerned myself. Obviously, we just spoke with Headmaster Cerulean a few hours ago, and he brought up this whole competition to us in the first place. But he said something that bothered me. As he was talking to the other royals about you know, the kingdom status and actually becoming royalty, full royalty for the kingdom. He was addressing a lot of older and younger siblings. So obviously, like Prince Danny and his sister, you know, only one of them can be king or queen, depending on who wins this competition. Same thing with, you know, Princes Ness and Frost. You know, if we're obviously not in the same situation as them because we're not younger or older, we're twins. But he didn't talk about that, so I'm not sure what that means for us. I mean, we've been planning our whole lives that we would be kings together.
Brother, listen here, okay? You need to calm yourself, alright? We don't want you getting in the pickle's head, do we?
No.
No, because, as you clearly see, they are just normal siblings. We are twins. We bypass that rule. We bypass the rule of one, where you have a monarch that is ruled by one, and of course you have their lover, but they don't rule. We bypass that because we are twins.
Yes, no, and I know that's what we've been told. That's what mother and father have told us since we were born. But now that we're at the academy, I just how do we make that happen? Especially with all these things with the flowers and winning these competitions. What happens if we don't win the same amount of flowers?
My dear brother, you just sound like you've got a head stuck in a cabbage patch, you know? You need to understand that we will be ruling our kingdom together, and we will make our kingdom better. But in order to do that, we must have the same amount of flowers, because if one has any more, then it's going to be very, very difficult for the other to rule with them.
I suppose that's true. So then, I guess we'll just have to be better than everyone else. We'll have to ensure that we always get a flower with every competition.
Exactly. We won't be competing against each other. We'll be competing against them.
Yes. Right.
Yes. Now, while we get my bedroom done, we need to talk about the prank that's going to do, you know, our next prank.
Yes. No, I know, because that fireworks display the other day was so successful. That was great.
I know, but that's not good enough, you know? We need to improve.
No, you're right.
You know?
Well, we know we shouldn't do anything similar to what we did with Princess April, you know, first day. She did not like that. We need to make sure we're respecting people's boundaries. But I think I might have some ideas we can possibly use for our next prank.
I'd be love to hear that while we try and decorate my room.
Perfect.